Hey everybody, welcome to a Dragon Link combo tutorial that will end you with infinite negates and quite a bit of follow-up, I believe, and still 4 cards in hand as well. So I think that this is a really cool combo that I've been working on for today, and this just requires Draconet or any 1-card way to a Needle Fiber as well as any Dragon Extender. In this specific case, I have chosen Draconet and World Legacy Guard Dragon. You could also play maybe Oviraptor and Destrudo. I don't know, just whatever. Just any sort of way to get to the Guard Dragon combo and the Needle Fiber. But yeah, so this World Legacy Guard Dragon can be instant fusion because Darkfire Dragon is a card. This could be Monster Reborn. This could be, let's think, obviously World Legacy Guard Dragon, World Legacy Succession. It could also be the Garden Rose Dragon monster, White Rose Dragon, I believe it's what it's called. And it could be Crusadia Draco. There's lots of cards that this card could be, but those are just some sort of examples that you could definitely play. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So let's do a normal summon of Draconet and use its effect to go ahead and special summon a Dragon normal monster from our deck. Or just a normal monster, whatever. Then we're going to go ahead and link the Draconet and the Galaxy Serpent into our Halki Fibrax. So, this is post-dual overload. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of this video. This combo will be for sure guaranteed 100% legal for 2 weeks because this is Master Rule 4 and Master Rule 5 will take effect April 1st, and we're expecting a ban list around that date as well. But there will be 2 weeks where there is no ban list and this combo is completely legal. So you're for sure going to be able to play this combo for at least 2 weeks. Halki Fibrax is going to go ahead and trigger, and we're going to special summon our Blackwing Steam the Cloak from our deck, if I can find it. There it is. And then we're going to go ahead and link it and the Halki Fibrax off into our copy of the Simorgberg of King's Link monster. So then Steam the Cloak is going to trigger and summon us a Aqua-type level 1 wind monster with 100 attack and 100 defense. It is important to know that this is a wind monster, and that is the only thing that you really need to know about it. Next, we're going to activate World Legacy Guard Dragon, targeting the only dragon monster in our graveyard, summoning it to the field, and linking it off into our Guard Dragon Elpy, which will go ahead and trigger as well, summoning a dragon monster from our deck, being the Black Metal Dragon. Next, we're going to link off the Black Metal Dragon into our Guard Dragon Pitsy, and use the Black Metal Dragon to go ahead and search for any Red Eyes card from our deck to the hand. In this specific case, we are choosing to add from our deck to the hand the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Then we're going to use it to banish the Elpy to summon it from the hand, and then use its effect to summon Black Metal from the grave. Link the Black Metal off yet again into a copy of Striker Dragon. And this is not once per turn, so we're going to go ahead and use Chainlink 1 Striker Dragon, Chainlink 2 Black Metal Dragon. And I specifically have chosen to play more Red Eyes cards. You don't have to, I just think that they're really good because Malefic Red Eyes is an extender. So I think that is really cool, although it does require an extra brick being the Red Eyes Black Dragon. I still think that it's a cool extender, so I think that it is worth playing. Then Striker Dragon's going to go ahead and search us for Boot Sector Launch. And then we're going to go ahead and link it and the Striker Dragon off into our Romulus. Romulus's effect is going to trigger, and we are going to search for Dragon Ravine. Pitsy's effect is going to activate, and we're going to summon the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and then the Black Metal back from the grave as well. If it will summon. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and link it and the Pitsy off into our copy of Heretic Seal, and then use the Black Metal yet again to search for another Malefic Red Eyes, although this could be any Red Eyes card. It might be more worth it to play a second copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon just in case, because this is dead after the first use, whereas if you happen to draw this plus the Red Eyes, you still have a Red Eyes in deck to banish for it. So I think that is something worth considering, but I'm not sure if it's going to ever come up, so yes. Anyways, we are going to go ahead and now use the token and Romulus into our copy of Union Carrier because we are no longer under the dragon restriction because we've got rid of all of our guard dragons, and the Romulus and the token are wind type monsters. Next, we are going to go ahead and use Blackwing Steam the Cloak, tributing our Heretic Seals to special summon it from the graveyard. And then Heretic Seals' effect is going to trigger to special summon a dragon monster from our deck, and then changes attack and defense to 0. And we're going to summon Tempest Dragon. Then we are going to go ahead and activate our Dragon Ravine, and then special summon our Malefic Red Eyes by banishing a Red Eyes monster, the normal monster, from our deck. So, we did it in that specific order because if you do not have a field spell, the Malefic Red Eyes will kill itself. So if the Dragon Ravine didn't exist, this Malefic Red Eyes would summon itself and then die. So that is why we do have to activate the Dragon Ravine first. So it's really cool that we actually are we are actually like able to search for a field spell so that the Malefic Red Eyes doesn't die. But yeah, then we're going to go ahead and link it, the Steam the Cloak, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and Tempest Dragon all off into a link 4. You could choose to summon Appaloosa in this case, but I have chosen to go ahead and summon Saryuja because it will give us a +1. And it is important to note that if you happen to draw your breaks being Apex Avian or your Mist Valley Thunderbird, that they are bricks obviously in your hand. So obviously they're not actually like entirely bricks, but you do definitely get to shuffle them back and get 2 other cards that might have like a better utility in your hand, being, you know, like Solemn Judgment or Anti-Spell Fragrance, so you're playing around Dark Ruler no more. So I think that is a really cool thing that you could do. And yeah, but this definitely could be Appaloosa if you happen to not draw those cards. I still think that it's more worthwhile to play the Saryuja over the Appaloosa in this specific case. Then we're going to go ahead and use Dragon Ravine to discard our Malefic Red Eyes from our hand, which could also be the normal monster Red Eyes, which I think I'll probably switch for after this build, because now I'm really thinking about it. I think that it's going to be better to play 2 of the normal monster and 1 Malefic Red Eyes in this specific build. But yeah. Then we're going to go ahead and send any dragon from our deck to the grave, which will be Absoraptor Dragon, and then use the Absoraptor's effect to go ahead and search for Rocket Tracer. Now we're going to go ahead and use the Saryuja effect to special Tracer from the hand. So obviously if this was Appaloosa, you're going to go ahead and destroy the Dragon Ravine, and sorry, not specifically destroy, because that's not how it field spells work anymore, but you're going to go ahead and override it by activating the Boot Sector Launch, then use this Launch's effect to summon the Tracer. It will get you there either way. I just think that having the Boot Sector Launch in your hand is probably, like, you know, better, because you're going to have 4 other cards in your hand, so this could come up as well the next turn, because you can discard the Boot Sector Launch for Dragon Ravine. There's just a lot of, like, weird things that you could do, but I still think that it's kind of important. But in this specific case, we're going to use Tracer's effect to destroy our Saryuja Skull Dread. And you don't have to destroy the Skull Dread. You can obviously destroy the Dragon Ravine. I just have chosen to destroy the Saryuja just to show you that you don't really need it anymore. And you can summon a Rocket Monster from your deck. And then you can go ahead and link Synchro it off and the Borload's for a Borload Savage Dragon. And then you're going to equip the Saryuja to it. It will gain 4 counters and half its attack, so it'll be at 4,400. And it's also worth noting that you should probably put this in defense mode to play around Lightning Storm, just in case your opponent has it. Even though this is going to be infinite negates, I still think that it's going to be better to put it in defense mode, specifically because if your opponent does have Dark Ruler No More plus Lightning Storm, this doesn't play around it. If you put the Borload Savage Dragon in defense mode, it won't be destroyed, so you'll still be fine to play around it in that specific case. So I still think that that's probably it's very rare, and I don't think it'll pretty much ever come up, but I still think it's like a safe play to do. Also, I forgot to mention here, and I should have got if this was a real tournament, I should get a warning here, but Steam the Cloak will actually summon a second token because it is not hard once per turn. It should have done that when the Saryuja was summoned, once you linked all these guys off, so before the Tracer thing. But I should have had a token there. Then we're going to go ahead and banish both our Red Eyes monsters from the graveyard to summon Tempest. And we are locked into only dark monsters from our extra deck, which is fine because we're just going to link them off into an IP Master right now. Next, Union Carrier is going to go ahead and activate, and we're going to attach Thunderbird to our Mist or some more Bird of Kings because they are both wind monsters. And then we're going to still have 4 other cards in our hand. Moving on into the end phase, we're going to go ahead and activate some more Bird of Kings to special summon a wing-based monster from our deck. So there are 5 unused zones on our opponent's field as well as 2 on our own, because this token shouldn't actually exist. It's just it's a placeholder. And then we're going to summon a level 7 monster from our deck. Typically you'll have 8 unused zones because this guard dragon won't typically be here. However, so this probably you could treat this as if it was what's the card called? For some reason I can't think of it right now. Anti-Spell Fragrance or Solemn Judgment. You could also pop this off a Tracer if you happen to not have enough unused zones, so that's also worth mentioning. So you summon the Apex Avian in defense mode also to play around the Lightning Storm, and move on to your opponent's turn. So during their draw phase or standby phase, main phase, they go ahead and activate anything. You're going to go ahead and use Apex Avian's effect to target your Thunderbird and negate it. Then you're going to go ahead and chain your IP Masquerena to go ahead and summon a Avramax. This goes to hand. And so the reason that you do this is on resolution, your Thunderbird's going to go ahead and special summon itself back. And if your opponent has any monster over 1200 attack, they can go ahead and kill Thunderbird no matter which position you put it in, attack or defense. Obviously, we're putting it into defense mode to play around Lightning Storm just in case if our opponent happens to have it. Although in this case, I don't think it really matters. But yeah. So the Crusadia Avramax is the only monster that can be targeted for attacks. So this is important because if our opponent actually just happens to go into the battle phase and they attempt to attack over this, we lose our entire infinite negate combo. We'll actually only have 2 negates because Apex Avian can target itself and Borreload Savage can remove a counter. So we would only have 2 negates in this specific case. However, our opponent can only target the Crusadia Avramax for attacks, so they have to clear the Avramax first. Also, our Simorgh Link as well as our Apex Avian are the only monsters that that they actually cannot be targeted for anything. They cannot be targeted in general. So that's important to note as well, just in case our opponent happens to have anything that targets our monsters. They cannot be targeted. So everything else can be, except for the Avramax, obviously, but the Warlord Savage Dragon can be targeted. So yeah. Also, if our opponent happens to go into, like, say they happen to activate Dark Ruler No More, and then they go into the battle phase, and they activate Evenly Matched, I think the best card to keep in this case is Borreload Savage Dragon, because it doesn't need the equipped monster to keep the counters. So the counters and the attack gaining are 2 separate things. So it's going to have 4 counters regardless of whatever is equipped to it. So if your opponent happens to activate Cosmic Cyclone, don't negate it, because you're just going to be losing 1400 attack in that case if the Cosmic Cyclone resolves, which is fine. You're going to still keep your counters because the counters are completely irrelevant to the the equipped monster is completely irrelevant to the amount of counters that are on your Borreload Savage Dragon. Once the counters are there, they're there. So if this equipped monster leaves the field, your counters still stay. I do want to mention that, just like, if your opponent activates Lightning Storm and calls spells, let it go through. Who cares? Because destroying this Saryuja, your Guard Dragon, and your Ravine does not matter, because you still have infinite negates in this case, as well as, like, your Borreload Savage Dragon, like, still is live, so it doesn't matter. But I thought I'd go ahead and mention that. So I feel like this combo is really cool and important to know, definitely coming up. It does require quite a bit of your extra deck, being 12 cards, so you do have, like, other options here. I put in Dingirsu, Appaloosa, and Boreal Sword, but these could actually be different cards. I'm actually not sure why I put the Dingirsu in here, but still interesting to see what we could do. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this combo tutorial, and if you guys want to see more like these, go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment. And if you have any sort of suggestions on how to improve this board, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. With all that said, I will see you guys later. Peace.